As you may or may not know, this week's episode has some pretty blatant depictions of self-harm and suicide. I just wanted to give a content warning that while I have done my best to censor those things and, give warnings and change things where necessary and then address them afterwards, it is still going to be seemingly part of the plot. I don't know where this is going, but that seems to be the case. So, that being said, I wanted to provide you guys, before we begin, with the suicide hotlines for Canada and the United States. And I'm sure wherever you happen to live, if you Google suicide hotline, or if you need any kind of help in that regard, there are services available. Please look them up. That being said, the suicide hotlines for the United States are 1-800-273-8255 or 1-800-273-TALK. And for Canada, it is 833-456-4566. The number again is 833-456-4566. Please seek help if you need it. With that said, please enjoy this week's episode.
You guys are performers as well, so have you ever had those stress dreams of you're dreaming that you have a performance to do, but it's for a show that you don't know?
Yes.
Or you don't know your lines, your costumes aren't existent. Yeah, the stage manager's yelling at you. I think every performer has these same whether you're a musician or a stand-up comedian, you have those dreams of oh, something's not right. So I had that immediate in real life when Jason was like, here we go, plays an audio cue I've never heard. I was like,
Isn't it funny that we've all been in conservatory for improv, and yet we're afraid to not know what's coming up next?
Yeah. Yeah. I had my first audition the other day when I told them I was an improviser. They're like, say something funny.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, oh, dear sweet Lord. I had nothing.
Ugh.
I had nothing.
Saying that to an improviser is like saying be creative to an artist.
Ooh, that's deep. That's my next tattoo.
I already have it on my body. It's on my butt. I tattooed it on my butt. What can I say?
That way they can kiss it. This week on Under the Table Read, we answer the question, can gun kill vampire? Welcome back to Under the Table Read. Today we'll be continuing our read-through of My Immortal, going through chapters 6 through 10. And we're going to have a slightly different structure this time around. Thank you for your feedback, everyone who listened last time. What we're going to be doing from this point on is, as you suggested, not interrupting the story because we're dying laughing at it.
Who knew? Who knew people would be bothered by that?
Right? Honestly, it's going to be a challenge because god damn is it funny sometimes.
Well, also, just to clear the record, I break all the time, regardless of if it's a show or not. For everybody to know, it is my tendency.
Could you imagine actually trying to act this out off?
No,
just, as a character.
I wouldn't get through it. I wouldn't get through it.
No, not even slightly.
No way. I would be just a mess.
Absolutely.
I think I am white and pale enough to play Ebony, though.
Absolutely.
If I get my old glasses out, I can play the upcoming role of Harry Potter.
Ooh, we hear from Harry today.
Sometimes I get a little peeved, and so I'm perfect for Draco. Because he's always angry.
But yeah, so we won't be interrupting except between chapters to kind of address what we just read and try to get it out of our system. And that way you guys can actually follow the story a little better and, everything will flow nicely. So thank you for that feedback. Thank you for listening. And we're going to go forward with that mentality.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Before going forward, Rebecca, you had some notes on fanfics that you wanted to share.
Hell yeah, I did. Because when we started this, I realized that I was like, I don't actually know how this all kind of came about. And talking about the differences between copyright for certain things. If you think about
Disney.
Oh, what's the 50? We think about Disney. Yeah, literally Disney fairy tales. Those have existed for a very long time. Obviously, before Walt Disney decided to animate them. Anyway, okay. So this is very, very brief. I took a lot of this. I started at the wiki page and kind of went off based on those sources there. So I'm sure if you're super into fan fiction, you've heard all of this. So my apologies. So the history of the concept of fan fiction predates the concept of copywriting, obviously. This is seen in things like Shakespeare's plays. A lot of his stories were retellings of, to be honest, a lot of stories that were also coming out at the exact same time. So that would be kind of fun. Things like Bram Stoker's Dracula has all different retellings and additional translations, which change a few things. What is seen as modern fanfic is absolutely credited, and I love this, to the Trekkies of the 1960s.
Whoa.
Yeah, it started with Star Trek fans. Francesca Coppa from A Brief History of Media Fandom cites that 83% of fanfiction authoring was done by female writers, which was moved to 90% in 1973.
Holy shit.
And so a lot of that was female Star Trek fans that felt that they should start writing their own stuff. And then it also makes me take a step back to be like, oh, the reason so many people were making fun of fan fiction was because women liked it. And, there's that concept of anytime women like anything from, like, boy bands to, I don't know, lip gloss, we should make fun of them for it. So I thought that was wildly interesting. And also it is to note that this is mainly Western. Obviously, Japan has had a similar, like, fanfic kind of experience also happening around this time, and I didn't really look into the non-Westernized version of fanfiction. The internet became a way for people to share their content far and wide and very fast, obviously. The tantalizing concept of self-publishing removed the boundaries of traditional and the just traditional insanity of trying to get an actual book published through a company. Bam! 50 Shades of Grey was what is called that had a thing that was called being pulled to publish, meaning for everyone it's pretty much common knowledge now, right? That the 50 Shades of Grey was obviously started as a Twilight fan fiction.
What?
Okay, Sarah May didn't know. Yes.
Really?
Yes, it was Stephanie Meyer. Stephanie Meyer? No, Stephanie Meyer wrote Twilight. Who wrote?
Yeah, but it was derived from Twilight. E.L.
Yes.
James?
E.L. James, yes, thank you so much. Yes, she wrote that with it being a Twilight fan fiction. And so many people were loving it that they pulled to publish it, meaning they changed the names.
And
removed the vampireness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, which if you look at like so many people had so many problems with 50 Shades, not because it was about like women experimenting sexually or like just experimenting and having a good time with it, but it was weird because he has the characteristics of like a moody teenage vampire, but he's like a grown-ass man. There's
I've met a lot of moody men, in my time. I think men can be extremely moody, and they don't have to be. I don't know. Maybe every man I've met who's been moody has been a vampire, and they just are really good at keeping secrets.
Yeah, maybe if vampires didn't have like the, I don't know. Anyway, the history of vampires is another podcast that I would love to make. Shannon Chamberlain from The Atlantic has a really good quote. Modern fan fiction's version of this exploration comes from a time when liberalization around sexual preferences, practices, and identities likewise makes it useful for... What did I fuck up this quote? Sorry. Basically, it was just saying that fan fiction was a great way to start experimenting sexually with all these different types of taboo subjects. And also people can start really not necessarily inserting themselves, but they can start exploring things within themselves and society that they feel is lacking in mainstream media. Which I think is really important, actually. Like, I think it's such a cool... Oh, here we go. Fanfiction's role in litigating the boundaries of relationships is one of its most enduring purposes. So, yeah, they're there to create this, like, environment of safety, of this imagination where you can experiment things like that. And you can start to see yourself in different types of media that you can't see when you're watching Star Trek or Star Wars or playing certain video games. And I think that that's really rad. When it becomes less rad is when you start getting into certain subjects where I'm like, But then who am I
Rebecca,
judge?
What a good segue. Jason, you should bring up what you wanted to bring up about the
because I'm done.
reworking. That was, wow. Rebecca, did you go to school for segues?
No.
Oh. Well.
That was not a yes and. I'm disappointed in that improvisation.
I was debating it, and then I was like, nah, I got nothing. It's Sunday, I got
nothing. It's Sunday.
Yeah, so on that note, I kind of have to segue to a point. So about My Immortal, I didn't realize this because we're all going in blind to this fanfic somehow after 15 years of being out and it being even bigger than I thought it was. There is a lot of talk of self-harm and it becomes a plot point. So I'm going to let you know now that I have changed it to just say, instead of like, he did something, he died. I just made it contextually accurate, and if you want to read it for yourselves and go check out what it actually said, you're free to do so. We're going to discuss the plot points after we've read it, and I'll address what I changed and did for the sake of that. And if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, I'll give you a time bumper that you can skip to. I won't know what it is until I do it in post when I'm editing it. So once I get to that point, I'll edit in the timestamp. So hopefully that helps you guys out if you're listening and you're sensitive to that kind of thing. I know some people are. I know some of my friends are. And that's, that's what I can hopefully do to help sway this. If there's more I can do, please let me know. Aside from that, what you were saying about kind of de-fanficking, like pulling out the, like just taking out the fanfic aspect when you've written something like what E.L. James did with Twilight, that I actually got introduced this week to the concept of the oncelorism and de-onceloring something. So the onceler is a character from the Lorax, and basically Tumblr in like 2012 made him into like an icon and like this huge like following. And not because of like anything the character does or interacts with in the thing. He's just, they thought he was hot. And so they basically made all of these like side oncelers to ship him with himself, called Oncest. So like they made like what if there was like a plumber onceler? What if there was like an evil villain onceler? And they just made a whole series of stories based around like the onceler in the onceler land dating other oncelers. And eventually it got to the point where these characters took on such a life of their own, they took the Lorax onceler element out and made them their own story. So it's kind of like what happened with 50 Shades of Grey. Like, this is like some weird giant universe a bunch of random people on Tumblr created and turned it into its own thing. And they don't even like it if you mention the onceler now anymore.
Oh. Because it's like the movie, it's like the movie After. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. I've never
seen that.
From Wattpad Studios. It was a story about a girl who like went to college with One Direction and like was like dating, I can't remember which one it was supposed I think it was like Niall, but then Harry came. And it's like, if you take away the fact that there are these boy band characters, there's nothing there. It's like there's nothing going on. It's like it's completely, which is what they did to turn it into a movie. And I think I was watching the YouTube channel Pretty Much It, was watching it with one of my favorite Canadian icons, Curtis Connor, and they were watching it together. And at one point they just stopped the movie and they were like, "How is he Harry Styles? How does this matter? Why is it was so dumb." That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, so I have one more topic before we actually go into the reading today. Was there, in your childhood or even right now, any topic, series, anything that you were such a fan of that you would have written your own fanfic and potentially inserted yourself?
When I was growing up, I was obsessed with Mary Kate and Ashley. Anything. So probably that in some way.
Oh my god, I could picture it. Mary Kate and Ashley and Sarah May solving mysteries.
Mary Kate, Ashley, and Sarah May?
We literally had a Mary Kate and Ashley fan club. We would sit on the swing set, and in order to like be initiated, you needed to answer trivia.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I love it. Oh, it's such a beautiful kid thing. It's like, you can't come on the swings unless you know exactly these facts. It's the same kind of gatekeeping guys do now when a girl says she likes video games.
We are here to
name 5 video
girl
games.
Boss. Name 5.
Name the top 3 locations that Mary Kay and Ashley have been to, even though they're only 12.
They went everywhere. They
did.
They've seen the world.
NASA.
I always
Also,
liked how sometimes in movies they were themselves, and other times in movies they weren't, and I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I mean, I found in my adulthood a DVD of Our Lips Are Sealed. It's the only one I have on DVD. Everything else must have been on VCR. And I won't lie, I pop it in every once in a while and really enjoy. Talk about edits, like very, very niche edits. The videos where it's like a spiral out of a scene. Oh my God. And I just remember being so attracted to all the guys that were their love interests. I think I had my first not sex dream, but my first romantic dream about somebody from one of the guys in one of the Mary Kay and Ashley movies. So if you're listening, random white man with blonde tips, thank you.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say, I had a sex dream about Billboard Dad.
Maybe now. I don't even remember what the dad looks like, but who knows?
I don't either, but...
Oh, that is so funny. Ew.
What a concept.
The title that's the one Mary Kate and Ashley movie. The title just always stood out to me because I'm like, yeah, that's really punchy. Billboard Dad. I like that. I like it.
That's really punchy.
Pimping out their dad.
Ooh, pimping out their dad.
Yeah, that's the whole premise, isn't it? They're just selling dating ads of their dad.
Yeah. And I think he doesn't realize, even though he's on a billboard. Can you imagine now?
Yeah.
Instead of Tinder or Hinge, you just buy a billboard.
Put up a billboard of yourself.
Yeah. There's billboards I see that say your ad here, and then you just put your phone number,
and it's just a picture of my ass.
Yeah. For my ad, God. It's a Rebecca's ass for my ad.
Yeah, to date Sarah May, you have to deal with looking at a picture of my butt for at least 45 minutes while you wait in traffic.
Oh, I love it.
For me, it was Harvest Moon.
Yeah, you go. You go. I want to hear all about this.
I just want to say it because I'm actually a little bit embarrassed. For me, it was Harvest Moon.
How did this work? I need to know.
Well, it was I loved the story of you being somebody's daughter who didn't know you inherited this farm suddenly from your estranged father, and it was your last connection with him that you had, and then all of a sudden people were trying to take your farm away from you, and there was no romance because I didn't think it necessary, and it got in the way of my character's goals. But yeah, it was it wasn't a self-insert, but I definitely liked the character. But it was just, this girl learning how to farm when she didn't live on a farm. She just suddenly inherited this farm, and a random dog shows up and it becomes her dog.
But the fanfics would make it some kind of romantic plot line. They'd be the
dog is actually
absolutely.
A were-dog.
Oh, the dog was a person trapped in a body of a dog because of magic.
Same with the pig. Yeah, same with the pig.
And all of her animals, she wakes up one day and they're grown men. There's some kind of
it's
spell.
kind of like the Wizard of Oz.
The chicken is a guy with a mohawk.
Yeah.
The dog has the same black and white hair, but you don't figure it out right away.
But you don't quite get it. That you only meet this guy on every full moon on a bridge that looks kind of like your dog, and then you don't see him again.
But when he becomes a human, it just says sheepish boy.
See, this is much better than anything I could have. But realistically, I could probably sell the concept of my original Harvest Moon fanfic to HGTV. Because they would be interested in it.
Why HGTV out of everything?
Because she's learning how to use a farm and work on a farmhouse. You know?
Oh, I love it. I'm surprised Netflix hasn't commissioned a Harvest Moon animation adaptation or something. But
I would sob. I love Harvest Moon.
Today on HGTV, after Property Brothers, Harvest Moon.
I love Property Brothers
Lord.
too. Anyway, enough of this. I love the Property Brothers.
So I actually did write this fanfic when I was like 14, and it was a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time prequel because, you know, that's the cool 14-year-old I was.
Absolutely.
And my friends actually did a reading of it when I was like 21 because they found it. It doesn't exist on the actual internet anymore. You have to go through like the Internet Archive, but those bastards tracked it down.
Oh my god.
And,
I hate that.
Like
right? Same with like YouTube. Like I did my Britney Spears impression thing, and like they like said copyright because like I was singing the melody of "Oops, I Did It Again." I'm like, you need to calm down, okay? I'm not like, come on, YouTube.
That sucks.
Come on, internet.
But yeah, it was badly written. There was like romance aspects I wrote as the final chapter that were like, I was like, I don't know how to get to this point, but I just want to write it. So here's a romance between my main character, who is definitely not me, and also this female character I'm just introducing.
Definitely not me.
Definitely not me. Super cool, not me. Definitely not me. His name's Jason, but it's not me.
But no, he spells it differently.
It's not me. Yeah, he has a Y in it.
He's never kissed a girl before.
He's so cool.
He doesn't understand how feelings work because he hasn't had that yet.
You didn't have feelings at 14?
I hadn't had any. I had never had what I would call a romance yet when I wrote that.
But like,
I was
if,
like 13 or 14. I was very late bloomer in that regard.
Sure. I just meant like if you got hit in the face with like a baseball bat, like you would feel that, right?
Oh, no, yeah, no. Like, I would cry loudly. I was very much still crying when I was 14 in like the tears, like, I can't believe you hit me kind of way. Like this, the like, ow, you threw a baseball and now I'm doing that like loud crying like you do when you're a baby.
Yeah.
I was a very sensitive early teen, but
I adore the concept of being like, sorry, I haven't had my first feeling yet. Like honestly, is such an interesting concept.
I had no idea what romantic attraction was in like the actually liking someone probably till I was like 15 or 16. So
wow, and I was having sexual awakenings like at like 8 from Mary-Kate and Ashley movies.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was like, I don't know what sexual attraction is to another human being, and I still don't. because I'm asexual. Romantic, yes. I've been having romantic feelings on everything, including like a bookshelf that's displayed nicely. I'd be like, that's great. And then I realized, oh, that's aesthetic attraction. But anyway, I digress.
I'll never forget when you guys in our group chat talked about bookcases and like shat on people who categorize it by color. And that's absolutely what I do.
I love organized bookcases like that, but it also has to be alphabetized if you're doing that.
No, I do it by the size. Look, I don't have that many books. I can find them.
See, for me, it's like I want to find it as soon as I can. It's more like library structure than it is about like actually displaying it.
Maybe it's because I worked at a library and I'm just so rebellious, and I'm like, I'm gonna do the opposite of what they want.
Ooh.
Dewey Decimal Who.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, we shall begin this week's episode of My Immortal. All right. Chapter 6, Author's Note. Shijit up, preps, okay? P.S. I will not update up till you give me good reviews.
The next day, I woke up in my coffin. I put on a black miniskirt that was all ripped around the end, and a matching top with red skulls all over it, and high-heeled boots that were black. I put on 2 pairs of skull earrings and 2 crosses in my ears. I spray-painted my hair with purple. In the Great Hall, I ate some Count Chocula cereal with blood instead of milk. And a glass of red blood. Suddenly, someone bumped into me. All the blood spilled all over my top. Bastard! I shouted angrily. I regretted saying it when I looked up because I was looking into the pale white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair with red streaks in it. He was wearing so much eyeliner that I was going down his face, and he was wearing black lipstick. He didn't have glasses anymore, and now he was wearing red contact lenses just like Draco's. And there was no scar on his forehead anymore.
What?
He had a manly stubble on his chin. He had a sexy English accent. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. He was so sexy that my body went all hot when I saw him, kind of like an erection, only I'm a girl, so I didn't get one, you sicko.
Oh, God. Apologize if that came off transphobic in any way.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I didn't think of that until just now, so sorry about that. We didn't write it.
It is true.
Yeah, the you sicko was not me.
That's in the text.
All bodies are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we said we wouldn't interrupt, but that was important.
That was worth it. That needed to be. I'm so sorry, he said in a shy voice.
That's all right. What's your name? I questioned.
My name's Harry Potter, although most people call me Vampire these days, he grumbled.
Why? I exclaimed.
Because I love the taste of human blood, he giggled.
Well, I'm a vampire, I confessed.
Really? He whimpered.
Yeah! I roared. We sat down to talk for a while. Then Draco came up behind me and told me he had a surprise for me, so I went away with him. And that's the end of the chapter.
Wow. I have many thoughts.
Is she actually a vampire?
I think.
Did I miss that? No, I totally missed that. She totally is.
I think like the first chapter, she's like, I'm a vampire, and also all this other stuff. But yeah.
Okay.
I was so caught up in what she was wearing in the description that I missed out on the fact that she's a vampire.
It's that, and also like the over describing of the outfits, and then also the facts that they really don't trust their actors, that they make them say, "Why?" I exclaimed, or, "Well, I am a vampire, I confessed." Like, no, we got it. We got it. Like,
we got this one.
You don't have to tell us how they say it.
It's like she literally went through a thesaurus that changes anything that said, I said.
Yeah.
Just to have something else, like, I whimpered.
Oh, maybe I learned I hate the word whimper just now. So that's very exciting.
My other thought is like, how did Harry lose his scar? Like, did he get some good Neosporin?
Yeah, also, how did she know he had a scar there?
Yeah, well that's what I found so interesting is it's like, oh, I met him, and she didn't describe glasses, and then she's like, he doesn't need glasses anymore. And I was like, oh, okay. He doesn't have a scar anymore.
I think the author was trying to like cover their tracks to be like, Ebony is not an idiot. Like, everybody knows the boy who lived. Like, it's that his appearance changed.
Yes.
Yep. And these are, I should also say, these are some big Ebony heavy chapters. So, Rebecca, have fun with doing most of the reading.
You're so welcome.
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord. Okay, chapter 7. Also subtitled, Bring Me to Life.
I was meant to say, we get subtitles with this one. I love it.
Even more evanescence with this one.
I love it.
All right. Author's note. Well, okay, you guys. I'm only reading this because I got 5 God reviews. And by the way, I won't write the next chapter till I get 10 good ones. Stop flaming or I'll report you. Evany isn't a Marie-Sue. Okay, she isn't perfect. She's a Satan-it's. And she has problems. She's depressed, for God's sake.
Oh. Sorry, that got me at the end.
Oh.
She's depressed, for God's sake. Okay. Draco and I held our pale white hands with black nail polish as we went upstairs. I was wearing red Satanist sings on my nails in red nail polish.
Author's note. See, does that sound like a Maru-Sue to you?
Petty.
I waved to Vampire, which was Harry Potter, by the way. Dark misery was in his depressed eyes. I I guess he was jealous of me that I was going out with Draco. Anyway, I went upstairs excitedly with Draco. We went into his room and then locked the door. Then a billion ... What could happen next, folks? We started Frenching passively.
What is that?
We started Frenching passively, and we took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. He felt me up before I took off my top. Then I took off my black leather bra, and he took off his pants. We went on the bed and started making out naked, and then he put his boy's thingy in mine, and we had sex!
Author's note. See, is that stupid?
Oh, Draco! I screamed while getting an orgasm. Great. When all of a sudden I saw a tattoo I had never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it. On it, in bloody gothic writing, were the words, vampire! Which is one word, by the way. I was so angry. You bastard! I shouted angrily, jumping out of the bed.
No, but you don't understand, Draco pleaded. But I knew too much.
No, you fucking idiot! I shouted. You probably have AIDS anyway. Jesus.
Oh, come
That's
on.
enough.
Jesus.
Okay, that's another thing I should have got out of there.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh
I
my
was so
God.
busy looking for the self-harm, I completely
You
was
missed-
like, oh.
Everything about LGBTQ.
The
Yeah.
homophobia, right,
Yeah, the
right.
homophobia. Yeah.
I put my clothes all huffily. I put on my clothes, that was my bad. I put on my clothes all huffily and then stomped out. Draco ran out even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what, but I was too mad to care.
We've all been there.
I stomped out. We have all been there. I stomped out and did so until I was in Vampire's classroom where he was having a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. Vampire Potter, you motherfucker! I yelled.
Wow.
Oh my God. This, you know what? I'll give them this. The plot is starting to become a bit more coherent.
I was gonna say something happens.
Yeah, we kind of have we have an arc forming. We have something happening.
It's kind of like the beginning of a book, it's slow, but then it picks
Slow
up.
burn. It's a slow burn. I forgot they had sex once already, so they were just gonna go do that again, which is fine.
I like how she wrote "Oh Draco Draco" like that. It was just all I could think of was that Biggie Small song. Oh Draco Draco, can't you see?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're one, just hypnotize me.
I think obviously, we all had a big reaction to Frenching passively.
Yeah,
The thing that makes me laugh the most about it is that they French passively, but they take off their clothes enthusiastically. So, it was like dull kissing, but they were so excited to get naked. I get that. Last night, I was working really late, and, for the past hour, was just imagining my bra off. I was so excited about it. The underwiring was getting to me. It was getting to me.
Oh, we send millionaires and billionaires to space. Can we just make a comfortable bra for women?
It's so much to ask.
That's all I want to do is just bring that out there. Manifest it,
I agree.
I'm just trying to imagine how you French passively. It's just like,
Oh, I've
does
done
your
it.
tongue just kind of go like really limp?
No, I've done it. Because one time I kissed a guy. One time I kissed a guy, and he said it was the most passionate kiss he'd ever had, and I truly felt like I was kissing a wall.
Oh.
I thought it, I don't know. I think maybe she's saying she's feeling it inside, the passiveness. Maybe they just don't have chemistry. It happens.
Maybe they don't have chemistry.
I just assumed she meant to write passionately.
Maybe.
Also, guys, oh my God, Draco and ex-Harry Potter, now vampire, had a thing, you guys.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
it makes total sense. You know how many times I've watched the Harry Potter films or been reading the Harry Potter books and I've thought, just kiss, you idiots!
Yeah, no, I absolutely think it makes sense.
Yeah, that wizard duel where he's like, say your prayers, Potter, you wish. And you're just like, oh, just fuck.
Oh, maybe if that whole thing isn't, and snakes are coming out of it, like if that isn't just an allegory for something, I don't know.
You go into his chamber of secrets and there's a big snake there, like
hello.
He wanted to see his chamber of secrets.
I'll something phoenix rising, something boner, something.
Fox, no!
I'm gonna horror your crux.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, keep it going.
Hagrid, forbidden.
I got one. I'll show you my fantastic beast and where to find it.
Woo!
I'm not thinking of any. My goblet is on fire. And I need to see a doctor. Oh, sorry.
Chapter 8, author's note. Stop flassing, okay? If you do, then you are a prep.
Everyone in the class stared at me, and then Draco came into the room, even though he was naked, and started begging me to take him back.
Ebony, it's not what you think. Draco screamed sadly.
My friend... What is that name?
It's. I think it's like Elvish, like D-Rizit, like in D&D, so it's like B-Luddy.
Oh, okay, I was just like, Buludi. I was like, that can't be right. That is not what that means. My friend, B. Luddy Mary Smith, smiled at me, understatedly. She flipped her long waist-length gothic black hair and opened her crimson eyes like blood that she was wearing contact lenses on. She had pale white skin that she was wearing white makeup on. Hermione was kidnapped when she was born. Her real parents...
I changed something here.
I was gonna say, listen, this writer does a lot of abrupt stuff, but what happened here?
I don't remember, but there was something that was like, you're not good. I'll make notes at the end, yeah.
Okay, cool. So anyway, Hermione was kidnapped when she was born. Her real parents are vampires, and one of them is a witch, but Voldemort killed her mother and her father died. She still has nightmares about it, and she is very haunted and depressed. It also turns out her real last name is Smith and not Granger. Since she converted to Satanism, she is now in Slytherin and not Gryffindor.
What is it that you desire, you ridiculous dimwit?
That was so good.
Thank you so much.
Snape demeaned angrily in his cold voice, but I ignored him. Vampire, I can't believe you cheated on me with Draco! That's not what happened.
That's backwards.
That's not what happened. Wait. Okay, well, anyway, everyone gasped.
Oh, this is me.
I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. I had went out with Vampire. I'm bi, and so is Ebony, for a while, and then he broke my heart. He dumped me because he liked Brittany, a stupid preppy fucker. We were just good friends now. He had gone through horrible problems, and now he was gothic. Ha! Like I would hang out with a prep.
But I'm not going out with Draco anymore, said Vampire.
Yeah, fucking right. Fuck off, you bastard. I screamed. I ran out of the room and into the Forbidden Forest where I had lost my virility to Draco. I started to burst into tears.
My virility?
Ooh. When did everybody lose their virility?
I like to think that I am still quite virile.
Oh.
Oh my god!
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That one spoke for itself.
Yeah, I think so.
That was very dramatic. Also, you know what? I'm not saying I'm like the most. I'm not a master of Harry Potter lore, but I don't think Snape would allow that.
No.
Like, I don't think Snape would allow somebody to come running into his classroom and be like, "What the? Yeah, fuck you fucking. I'm bisexual and that's fine, but why is this happening right now?"
Also, you're naked.
Naked.
Like, we're not gonna address your big thingy just dangling around there.
No, because she was so mad. She didn't even care about the size of his wang. She was so mad.
I get it.
Apparently, neither was Snape.
Yeah, he was like, this is maybe he's just like,
he hasn't felt love in a while, you know, like, well, love that's alive. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm waiting to find out. Like, Vampire Potter's parents are probably still alive or something in this universe.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious as to what's going to happen next.
Okay.
You're right about like this part of the fanfic actually having plot.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting.
I'm wondering if this is like where the author kind of found the thread of where they're going to take this instead of just writing nonsense. Like, maybe this is when people actually started paying attention to it. Like, I don't know what it was like for anybody who was reading this as it was coming out. I would love to talk to someone who was there, but
yeah,
we shall see. All right, chapter 9, author's note. Stop flaming, okay? I didn't read all the box. Oh, the books.
Yeah. Okay. So even the writer is like, I haven't read the books, which is fine because, you know, some people gatekeep and they're like, I didn't read.
Yeah.
You need to read the books and the movies and have met Daniel Radcliffe and have, you know.
Bought your wand from the wizarding world. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
This is from the movie, okay? So it's not my fault if Dumbledore swears. Besides, I said he had a headache. And the resin snap doesn't like Harry now is because he's Christian and Vampire is a Satanist. So Snape is a Christian.
Snape's a Christian. Not my first guess.
Look at the way he dresses. No, come on. He is very conservative.
Very conservative. That is not the equivalent to Christian, though.
You're right. You're right. That's on me.
That said, his hair could easily make him look like a nun's habit.
All right. I'm back on board. All right.
And of course, as always, we end as author's note is saying, MCR rocks.
Hell yeah, they do. I was so mad and sad. I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did it with Draco. Yeah, sad. Then all of a suddenly, an horrible man with red eyes and no nose and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose, basically like Voldemort in the movie. And he was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't gothic. It was Voldemort! Who knew? No! I shouted in a scared voice. But then Voldemort shouted, Imperius! And I couldn't run away. Quickshanks! I shouted at him.
That's her cat.
That's Hermione Granger's cat. She hasn't read all the books. Crookshanks! I shouted at him. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt bad for him even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped.
Ebony! Thou must kill Vampire Potter!
I thought about Vampire Potter and his sexy eyes and his gothic black hair and how his face looks just like Joel Madden. I remember that Draco had said I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him and they broke up? No, Voldemort! I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun! No, please, I begged as he gave me a gun.
Thou must, he yelled. If thou does not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco.
How did you know? I asked in a surprised way.
I hath telekinesis.
Yeah.
And if you dost not kill vampire, then thou know what will happen to Draco!
Then he flew away angrily on his broomstick.
Nah.
I was so scared and mad, and I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Draco came into the woods. Draco, hi!
Hi, he said back, but his face was all sad.
He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram.
Author's note, get it?
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a type of eyeliner or a type of pentagram. I was like, what? Sorry. So, okay. He looked between Joel Madden and Gerard Way. That's what he looked like. Are you okay? I asked.
No, he answered.
I'm sorry. I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me. I expelled.
That's okay, he said, all depressed.
And then we went back into Hogwarts together, making out. Okay, I'm obsessed with the fact that Voldemort comes running towards her on a broom, and she's like, it looks kind of like Voldemort, it smells kind of like Voldemort, it's moving kind of like Voldemort. It's Voldemort!
I just love the way his dialogue is written, like it's like someone out of a Shakespeare play, but like who's never read Shakespeare before.
No.
Yeah. I don't think in the movie he ever says thou once.
No, he's very like...
He talks like a normal guy.
Yeah.
Aside from that one line where he comes back to Hogwarts and he says, Harry Potter is dead!
That was really my inspiration.
Yeah. That was good. Actually, the way that it's kind of written...
Avada-kedavra!
The way that it's written reminds me of, like, have you guys ever seen The Witch? The Witch Vitch?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the movie.
Because there's a black, like, Satan goat that talks, and he's like, wouldst thou like to live deliciously? And, like, that's how this Voldemort talks, which I also came out years after this. So I don't think that was the inspiration.
But maybe for them.
Yeah.
Man, guys, I really lost it when it was like, all right, I know that we have magical wands where we can literally kill somebody automatically, but if you need a gun, here you go.
I just love
this works too.
That raises so many questions as to, like,
I would love to, in a Harry Potter movie, like if there was a duel and then someone just whipped out a gun and like shot.
Also, like, can you kill a vampire with a gun?
I don't think so. But I don't know. But I adore the fact that he's like, here's a gun. Hey kid, take this gun. Also, I find it interesting that Voldemort has the respect for Harry Potter to call him by his new name.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I feel like dead name Potter.
Yeah.
Vampire Potter.
I respect people's names and pronouns.
But you shall die.
With a gun.
With a gun. Not my wand.
I'm a murderer, not a phobot.
I have the Elder Wand. I have the most powerful wand, but here's a gun.
Here's a gun.
I don't know.
I keep the wand. It's my wand.
Wait, because, he gets the Elder Wand eventually, right?
He does, but it doesn't get ownership, blah, blah, blah.
Right. I gotta rewatch Harry Potter.
This is making me want to rewatch Harry Potter, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna go to my class. I'm just gonna be like, sorry guys, I got 19 hours to kill.
All right. Well, we're on the last chapter, so we might as well just close it out.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
Chapter 10, author's note. It turns out Bloody Mary isn't a muggle afterall, and she and vampire are evil. That's why they moved houses. Okay.
I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset, went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band, Bloody Gothic Rose 666. I'm the lead singer, and I play guitar. People say that we sound like a cross between Good Charlotte, Slipknot, and MCR. The other people in the band are B. Bloody Mary, Vampire, Draco, Ron, although we call him Diablo now.
So they've been in a band this whole time?
I was gonna say, they've been in a band together this whole time.
Oh my god.
They get in all these confrontations, but they're like, we're still good for 8, though, right?
Yeah, no, door 7, show 8, whatever.
Oh.
Wow.
So, okay, sorry. Ron, who is now Diablo, he has black hair now with blue streaks in it. And Hargrid. Only today, Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming, and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably depressed, but he wouldn't die because he was a vampire too, and the only way you can kill a vampire is with a CROSS. There's no way I'm writing that. or a steak. Oh, yeah, sorry. Steak. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like Corpse Bride. I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs and tiny matching mini skirt that said Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not. We were singing a cover of Helena, and at the end of the song, I suddenly bust into tears.
Ebony, are you okay? Bloody Mary asked in a concerted voice.
What the fuck do you think? I asked angrily. And then I said, well, Voldemort came to the fucking bastard Kate told me to fucking kill Harry. But I don't want to kill him because he's really nice, even if he did go out with Draco. But if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will fucking kill Draco. I burst into tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall.
Oh, that got me.
Why didn't you fucking tell me? He shouted. How could you? You fucking pose a muggle bitch.
Author's note. C, is dat out of character?
I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. And then he ran out crying. We practiced for 1 more hour. Then suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't because he had a headache.
What have you done? He started to cry wisely. See, that's basically not swearing, and this time he was really upset, and you will see why. Ebony, Draco has been found in his room. He died.
Oh!
So that last note is another thing I changed, and so I'll address all of that starting now. So if you haven't, or if you have any sensitivity to kind of self-harm stuff, please skip to 54 minutes and 48 seconds. Please skip to there if you'd like to avoid any of this discussion. Okay, so the last note is that Draco killed himself, and that's, I think, going to be a big plot point, because as we also learned earlier, guns can't kill him, only crosses and stakes can kill Draco. So Draco, I think the plot isn't that I think like they're actually building a plot of like Draco did not actually kill himself, he was murdered. So they're kind of using self-harm as like a
Heather's
plot device. Yeah. The other thing I changed was Hermione's dad also killed himself. Yeah, there's just stuff like that all over the place. Like, obviously, 2006, emo, I know, it's all that kind of thing back then, but obviously we have more knowledge about that now, so
it was much more flippant. It was much more just like...
take mental... Yeah, back in 2006, mental health wasn't looked at the way it is now, where we kind of see it as like, oh, we all kind of deal with this, and we all understand this now. Like, we didn't know these things. We just thought like, oh, you're harming yourself. It's just you're being emo and all that stuff. It wasn't like we took it as like, no, there's something wrong and no one's listening and we should be paying attention and helping this person. And, you know, it's a symptom rather than the disease, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so back to the story at hand. Yeah, it seems like this actually kind of got like a coherent plot line going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still wondering how the hell Blade and Marty McFly are going to show up in this.
It will happen with no explanation, but I'm very ready. I'm very excited.
I want to pitch this to you guys. Like, obviously, I don't want to do this now because you have to go to class, and this would be something that we'd have to experiment with. But I think next chapter, next episode, afterwards, we should try to improvise what's going to happen next and put our skills to the test as our characters.
I would love that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I guess I'm down.
I'm only just sitting in a Second City classroom right now.
That's fine. Practice improv with you nerds? Mm-mm.
I would love nothing more. I miss it so much. I miss you.
Yeah,
both.
Oh my god, me too. Normally, right now, we'd be prepping for class. Like, it's killing me.
Yeah, I would be like
that's
running
true, yeah.
around my apartment trying to make myself coffee. And, like,
I'd have just woken up from a nap and pretended that I just kind of like did something with my day.
no, oh my God. Yes, man. And now it's so, guys, going from remote to like non-remote in person. Wow, what a difference. Like you actually have to like prepare and like drive and like find parking and all that stuff. It's crazy.
Oh, that sucks.
Driving? No.
Yeah, driving.
I can drive, but I'm not a good driver.
No, I don't drive. That's the nice thing with Toronto is I could just subway right to Second City because it's right there.
I want to put on my car, because it's like an Illinois license plate, I want to put like a bumper sticker that says, "But I'm really from New York," which explains the driving.
That's cute.
I really want one.
I'd like to visit both sometime just so I could see who's worse, New York and Chicago drivers or Toronto.
Oh, I don't know. The Chicago drivers.
No concept.
I have a lot of things to say, but I don't want to lose our Chicago audience, so I will just say, maybe, I don't know, put a pep in your step. That's all I'll say. But
oh, Lord.
But
well, this was fun once again.
I'm very excited to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see what happens next. This is getting like, I'm actually kind of excited because I want to know where this is going now.
Yeah.
Like, I see how this hooked people because suddenly it's like, we literally did it. We questioned, like, can a gun kill a vampire? And then suddenly, like, Draco's dead. She establishes you can only die these two ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's actually not bad beats writing.
Yeah, true.
I'm not going to ever say this is good writing, but as a beat, that's actually not horrific.
No.
I like that she or he is getting more liberal with the use of like author's notes in full paragraphs to be like, ha, see?
Very defensive.
I told you.
I wrote it. Did you notice it? Fuck
I love
you.
it. I love it.
I really don't think that they can take criticism very well, it seems.
What do you mean? I'm going to start doing that with everything I write, is to be like,
Yeah,
right?
same.
Yes?
I know
Did you
that
see
this
this?
isn't it.
If only you could write that.
Okay, well, that is all for this week. Please, if you have any other feedback or there's other things you want to see us read or suggestions you have for the podcast, please comment wherever you get podcasts. We have finally got everything up where it needs to be. Spotify, Apple. We're still working on Stitcher, but I think their platform's down right now, but we're on YouTube. All of them are under the table read. You can find us there. And yeah, with me as always for 2 episodes. So always is a very short time. I'm saying it like this has been like a long
not
project.
asked back.
I had it so together until that part. I'm like,
Yeah, that was really
fuck, I
good until
overthought
just
it.
now.
Fuck. Anyway, my co-hosts, Sarah May Banning and Rebecca Lashmar.
Hi, thank you.
No, we're leaving. You say bye.
She can say
Goodbye.
whatever she wants.
Bye. If anyone's interested in my Harvest Moon fanfiction, please tweet me and let me know that you like it.
Oh, if we could find that should be a read sometime. That would be beautiful.
Oh my God, it's like 40 pages. No.
Oh, wow.
Okay, guys, your homework for this podcast is to go write a fan fiction that has multiple chapters, and we will read it next week.
And I have been Jason Byrne. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.